Hi guys, salamat sa inyong patuloy na ginagawang pagsubaybay dito sa ating discussions about statics of rigid bodies. At ngayon guys ay magpapakita tayo ng isang problem about analysis of structure, particularly on method of sections. Guys, ito ang problem, ano? Sabi dito sa problem, we are to find for the maximum permissible value of P that can be applied to the truss without exceeding a force on members BD, CD, and CE, okay, of 7,000 pounds, 3,000 pounds, and 5,000 pounds respectively. Kaya sa problem na ito ay pinapahanap sa atin guys itong value ng P na kung saan yung forces that will be acting on these members BD, BD on CD and on CE will not exceed the given values of 7,000, 3,000, and 5,000. Okay. So, anong gagawin natin guys? Kailangan natin na pag-aralan kung paano siya sosolvin. Since yung members na pinakikita dito ay nasa gitnang bahagi ng ating structure. So, tamang-tama na ang gagamitin natin ditong method of analysis is method of sections. So, bago tayo mag-apply ng method of section, ay solvein muna natin itong reactions at the support. Given the condition that yung ating P ay symmetrically placed on a structure that is symmetrical, then yung magiging reaction natin sa support ay pareho. Kaya kung meron tayo ditong reaction sa sa A at dito sa G, assuming that these are our reaction, tawagin nating RA at ito tawagin nating RGB kasi meron siyang vertical component. And because G is a hinge, so we would expect that there should be also a horizontal component which we shall call as RGH. Pero nga dahil wala naman tayong nakikitang externally applied load dun sa structure, then automatic itong ating horizontal component ng reaction sa G ay magiging 0. And because as I have said na itong ating forces ay symmetrically placed on a structure that is symmetrical, then we would expect that the value of RA at saka itong RGV ay magiging equal. And this will be equal to 1/2 of the load on top of the structure, that is 1.5 of the value of P. Kaya ito ay 1.5 of P, and so with this value that is 1.5 of P. Okay? Pagkatapos nating maipakita ngayon yung reaction, then we now decide kung saan natin padadaanin yung ating exploratory section. And we just have learned that if necessary, yung ating section ay padadaanin natin doon sa members na kung saan ay hinahanap natin yung force na nag-a-act. Since it is indicated in the problem that we will be dealing with the member BD, member CD, at member CE, it is but good to consider passing an exploratory section that would cut also the three given members. So, magpapas tayo ngayon ng section dito sa bahaging ito. Dito tayo magpapas ng section. Okay? So, assuming that this is our cutting section, sulat natin dito itong ating cutting section, then ang next nating gagawin ay mag-decide tayo kung alin bang part ng cutting section ang ating gagamitin bilang free body diagram. And meron tayong suggestion on how you're going to select. Okay, the first suggestion that we should consider is to look for part that is simpler. Simpler in the sense that it is simple to draw and simple to solve. Simpler because I believe this left part is simpler to draw at kaunti lamang yung mga forces involved because there are only two forces involved, one at the reaction at A and the other one is the force acting at B. Kaya makikita natin dito na itong left part of the exploratory section is simply to consider. Ano? So if we're going to consider isolating the left part of exploratory section, so ang gagawin natin ngayon ay kukunin natin itong bahagi at i-isolate natin siya as the free body diagram. Bali, ang nakikita natin ngayon dito sa illustration ay yung left part na ng exploratory section. Ano? Kinuha ko na yung bahagi ng kaliwang bahagi ng exploratory section, and we will now be analyzing this using the method of section. After we have cut this member BD, CD at saka CE, so ipakita ngayon natin yung forces na nag-a-act doon sa member na yon to maintain this left part to be in equilibrium. Ano? So imagine natin that we have here our force. So yung ating force na nag-act dito. And we also have here, and we have these forces. Ano? So this is our force BD. Ito yung ating CD. At ito yung ating CE. Ang totoo, hindi natin alam kung ano yung direction at ano yung sense na mag-act dun sa mga members na naputol. Ano? So anong ating gagawin? Dahil hindi natin alam kung ano yung kanilang direction, ang gagawin na lamang natin dito ay mag-assume ng kanyang direction. At malalaman naman natin kung yung ating assumption ay tama base doon sa kalalabasang sign ng result. Kaya kung mag-assign tayo nitong BD na in the form of a compression, halimbawa sabihin natin, ito ay compression, kaya kung ito ay compression, dapat yung kanyang force ay mag-a-act towards the section. Okay? Kung halimbawa naman itong CD, in-assume din natin na compression, therefore, ang kanyang force dapat ay mag-a-act towards the section also. At kung sakali, halimbawa, mag-assume naman tayo ng isang force that is in the opposite direction, ano? Let us assume na ito namang CE ay in the form of a tension, kaya asahan natin that it should be directed away from the cutting section. So tandaan natin na itong ating ginawa dito na K-direction are only an assumed K-direction, na kung saan yung kanyang correct direction will be checked by the resulting sign of the final answer. So after we have assigned the forces acting on the cut member, now we will be computing for this magnitude one by one by applying the conditions of equilibrium. So kinakailangan lamang matukoy natin kung ano bagang condition of equilibrium ang ating gagamitin para makuha natin yung mga forces na mag-a-act doon sa mga member. At meron tayo ditong basic concept o basic principle para na siya nating i-apply dito. No? As much as possible, when you are trying to solve one of the unknowns, try to eliminate the other two unknowns by applying any appropriate conditions of equilibrium. Pwede nating i-apply yung summation of forces vertical, o kaya naman yung summation of forces horizontal, o kaya naman summation of moment. Whatever is the appropriate condition na i-eliminate ng dalawa para ma-solve natin ang isa sa mga unknown. Kaya kung titingnan natin dito, halimbawa, we wanted to solve this force acting on member CE. So, target natin ngayon is to eliminate BD and CD. So, halimbawa, sabihin natin, we solve for the force on member CE. Ano? So, halimbawa, solve natin yung member CE. So, anong gagawin natin? We try to eliminate BD and CD. And since we know that, itong dalawang forces ay nag-i-intersect dito sa point din ito. Kung in-extend kasi natin ito, so ito yung point na kung saan they would be intersecting. And this point actually is our point D. Diba? Kaya kung magsasum up tayo ng moment, if we are going to sum up moment, summing up moment, about D equal to 0, so what are we going to get? We shall be able to eliminate PD and KCD. May eliminate natin yun. Kaya when we sum up moment, we try to apply the summation of moment about D equal to 0, and we consider the moment in the counterclockwise direction be positive. Then we will be getting the value of the force acting on CE. And because we are talking moment, then we need to identify muna yung mga moment arms that each of the forces will have about the moment axis at this. So i-identify natin isa-isa So what will be the moment arm of this CE about D? Identify natin yan. You will find that this distance will be equal to 20. Kasi given naman ito, di ba? 20 yan. Samantalang itong pineto will have a moment arm equal to 1/2 of the horizontal distance because it is placed 1/2 or at the midpoint of the top chord. Kaya kung itong distance nito mula sa D, define natin itong distance nito. Kasi itong distance nito ay given here that this is equal to 20. Kaya itong distance 40 pala, 40. Given siya as 40. Kaya itong distance nito from KD to that value of P will be equal to 20. Itong distance nito will be equal to 20. Diba? Kaya when we take moment, what will be our moment equation? We sum up starting from the left. So we will have negative 1.5 of P, the magnitude of the force acting on A, multiplied by the moment arm of 40, plus AP will be creating counterclockwise moment about this D. Therefore, that will be plus P multiplied by 20. This CE will also be producing counterclockwise moment about D. Kaya siya ay positive din. So, plus CE will be equal to multiplied by 20 shall be equal to 0. So, from this equation, we shall be able to solve for CE, which when simplified will be equal to 2P. Ayun. 2P yung mangyayari. Kaya meron tayo ngayong value ng ating CE which is equal to 2P. Now, let us now try to solve for BD. Ang next nating point is to consider solving for BD. If we wanted to solve for BD, what are we going to do? We need to eliminate the other unknowns. So we'll be eliminating CD at saka CE. And how are we going to do it? So in order for us to be able to eliminate CD at saka CE, so makikita natin that they will be intersecting at point C. Kaya pag nag-take tayo ng moment about C, ma-eliminate natin itong dalawa and we shall be able to solve for KBD. Kaya ipakita natin dito yung yung ating free body diagram. So ulitin ko lang uli yung free body diagram. Mag-drawing ulit tayo dito ng free body diagram. Okay? So here is our FBD. Ulitin ko lang siya dito. Okay, so we try now to solve for BD. We solve for BD. Solve natin yung BD by summing up moment. Moments about point C. About point C. So, pakita ulit natin yung ating force na ginamit para makita ulit natin dyan. So, we have here our forces. Okay, ito yung ating force na ginamit. Here is our PD. Ito yung ating CD. At ito yung ating C. So, we will be taking moment about C. So, when we sum up moment about C equal to 0, from here we can solve for what? Solve for PD. So let us try to consider that this direction in the counterclockwise be positive. So ang kinakailangan natin ngayon ay maintindihan naman ngayon, makuha uli natin ngayon yung moment arms ng bawat forces from point C. So knowing na itong distance na ito, ipakita muna natin na itong distance na ito is defined already. Okay? At 20. Kasi itong distance na ito na-define na natin eh. Okay? So, kunin natin itong part na ito. We already have defined this, ano? So, this is equal to 20. 22 eh. Diba? So, ang tinatarget natin ngayon is makuha itong distance from C to this point. At tawagin natin siyang X. Okay? So, kung ito ay X, okay? So, makukuha natin yan kapag itong angle na ito ay ma-define natin. So, assuming natin itong angle na ito ay theta. And this angle theta will be related here because this angle ay using similar kay triangles, ano? Okay, so you would expect that this angle would also be equal to theta. Knowing that, okay, this distance mula dito hanggang sa kay itaas, ano? Hanggang dito ay may distance tayo na 20. Diba? At ang total distance mula dito hanggang dito, okay, ay equal sa 40. Ito naman ay 40. Diba? Kaya, by ratio and proportion, if this is 20, nasa gitna ito, itong kalahati nito, itong height nito, ano, makikita natin, itong height nito will be equal to 10. Kaya mula sa triangle nito nakikita natin, we can form an equation that x to the 10 is equal to tangent of theta, di ba? So, if we will be solving for x here, solving natin yung x dito, di ba? So, by ratio and proportion, x over 10, itong value x is to 10 is to tangent of theta. Kasi siya yung opposite over the adjacent side of this angle. Pero kung gagamitin natin itong malaking triangle na ito, wala dito, okay, we can also, okay, find that tangent of theta can be computed, ano, from the ratio that it is equal to 20 over 40 or equivalent to 1/2. Okay, so if this 1/2 will be substituted there, therefore we should be able to get the value of x equal to x over 10 is to 1/2 and therefore x will be equal to 5. So itong value nito, yung distance nito will be equal to 5. Diba? Kaya ma-define na natin ngayon yung moment arm ng P at saka yung moment arm itong KRA. Lamang, since BD is inclined, ano? So we will have to determine the horizontal and vertical component of this BD by using the slope of this inclination. So kung makikita natin, itong ating BD would be slope at this value. Okay, it is slope at 20 is to 40 or simply equivalent to 1 is to 2. And having this slope inclined, the distance equal to the square root of 5. Ano? Kaya from that relation, masasabi natin na yung kanyang component, ano? So we will be resolving BD into components. So we shall be getting that the vertical component of BD will be equal to the vertical component of the inclination to the incline, ano, that is equal to 1 over the square root of 5 of BD. Similarly, yung horizontal component naman ng BD will be equal to the horizontal component of this inclination also, that is equal to 2 over the square root of 5 of BD. Diba? So pagkatapos niyan, pwede nating i-resolve itong BD. And when we resolve this BD, mas maganda kung pumili tayo ng point na kung saan this can be resolved such that our computation for the moment at C will be simplified. When I say simplified, maaaring makuha natin yung moment that one of its component will have no moment. And if we're going to look at its path, you will notice that it would be good to consider solving BD at point A. Because at point A, if this will be resolved at point A, the horizontal component will just pass through C and it will have no moment. While the vertical component naman ay magkakaroon siya ng moment equal to 20 plus x, which is 25. Di ba? So that, resolving, ano, if you're going to resolving BD into components at point A. At A, di ba? So, ipakita natin yung kanyang point dito. So, kunin natin dito, ipakita natin dito sa pamagitan ng kanyang component. So, assume natin na ito yung kanyang horizontal component. Ano? Assume natin na ito yung kanyang horizontal component. directed in the leftward direction. Okay? So, ito yung kanyang BDH. Samantalang yung kanyang vertical component naman will be directed in the downward direction. Ito yung kanyang vertical component. Diba? So, we have here BD vertical. Diba? So, itong BD ngayon, in-resolve natin dito. Ang purpose natin ay para makuha yung moment about C na kung saan yung BDH will have no moment. Bagamat this can be resolved at any point. Ang pinupuntirya natin dyan ay paano mapadadali yung computation. Kaya, when we sum up moment now, okay, balikan ko lamang yung summation of moment. When we sum up moment about C equal to 0, considering that this is positive, so what will be our moment equation? Our moment equation will be equal to, let's start with the leftmost. We have here BD, BDV. The vertical component will have a moment arm of 25 and it will be producing a counterclockwise moment. Therefore, that would be positive. Similarly, I would have here RAH, and RAH is directed upward, producing clockwise moment about C dito, So that would be negative. So I will have here RA multiplied by 25 also. Diba? Then this P will be producing counterclockwise moment, therefore that is positive, plus P multiplied by 5, and this when added shall be equal to 0. Now if we will be substituting here the value of BD, okay, in terms of BD, okay, ito yun, that is 1 over the square root of 5 of BD multiplied by 25, a minus RA, which is already taken at 1.5. That is 1.5 of P multiplied by 25 also, di ba? Plus P multiplied by 5 equal to 0. Kapag isinimplify natin ito, okay, sinimplify natin ito, okay, lalabas dito ay P, okay, so magkakaroon tayo ng value na P equal to 13 the square root of 5 over 10 of P. O kaya 6.5 multiplied by the square root of 5 okay, multiplied by P. Ito yung ating ngayong BD. Ito yung ating BD. So this will be our BD. So meron tayo ngayong nakuhang value for BD, which is 13 over 13 the square root of 5 of BD. Okay? So let us now try to solve for that value. Okay, now yung kasunod nating hinahanap ay itong member naman sa CD. Okay, CD naman, So how are we going to take compute for CD? So we can compute CD if we shall be able to eliminate PD at saka itong CE. At kung titingnan natin itong dalawa nito, they are actually intersecting at point A, di ba? So if we will be summing up moment about point A, then the two will be eliminated at masosolve natin ngayon itong ating ACD. Okay, so ipakita ulit natin. Let us try to redraw again the isolated view para makita natin. So ipakita ko dito. Okay, so itong nakikita natin, itong ipinakikita kong illustration is the FBD, FBD of the isolated part, nilinaw ko lang uli. So let us now try to draw here the forces uli. Let us show the forces. So you have the force dito, may force tayo dito at dito, So this is our BD. Ito yung ating CD. Ito yung ating CE. Yan, di ba? So, ang tinatarget natin is to solve for CD. So, what shall we do? So, to solve for CD, we eliminate natin BD and CE by summing up moments about the intersection of BD and CE, which is the point A. Dito tayo magte-take ng moment sa in ito, So, that is summing up moment about A equal to 0, and we consider again that counterclockwise will be positive. Okay, so ano ngayon ang magiging moment arm niya, So Ang makikita na lang natin force RA will also be eliminated. Matitira na lang force itong P na kung saan ang kanyang moment arm ay itong value na ito. Itong distance na ito na okay 20. Okay? Itong distance na ito ay 20. Diba? And because CD is inclined, ang kinakailangan natin makuha ngayon is the inclination of the CD. So we try to find how this CD is inclined. Ano? How is this inclination equal to? So let us try to go back to the original figure or the dimension. If we are to expand this point at extend that point, this distance, okay, ay malalaman natin na ang distance nito ilan? Ito ay equal saan? Ang distance na ito ay equal sa 20, di ba? 20 siya. So, we have just computed that this distance, itong part na ito, ay equal sa 5. Diba? And because this distance ay equal naman sa 20, kasi itong distance ay 20 rin eh, di ba? Hence, itong distance na makikita natin dito from C to this end will be equal to the difference between 20 and 5 and this will be equal to 15. Di ba? So, kung 15 ito ay 20. Sa makatwid, itong ating inclination is inclined at 3 is to 4. Hence, this will be a 3, 4, 5 triangle. Diba? Kaya yung ating CD, we are going to express, ano? So, we are going to resolve CD into components. Then we would find that the vertical component of CD will be equal to the ratio of the vertical to the inclined distance of the inclination. So that is a 4/5 of CD. And the horizontal component of CD will be equal to 3/5 of our CD. Diba? And if this will be resolved at point A, kung i-resolve natin siya sa point C pala, ano, sa point C, so let us try to resolve this at point C. Gamitan natin siya ng orange, ano? Okay, so let us try to resolve it here. Meron tayo ngayong vertical at horizontal component. Ito yung tinatawag nating okay, vertical at horizontal component. Yan, ano? So I have here our CD vertical at CD horizontal. Di ba? Na kung saan ang moment arm ng CD vertical from point A will be the sum of 20 and 5. So that, okay, when we sum up this moment, balikan natin itong moment na ito, what will be our moment summation? Let's start with, okay, with P. So, P will be creating a clockwise moment, therefore that would be negative. Negative P multiplied by 20. Whereas CDV will be creating also a positive moment. Diba? That would be equal to minus, okay, CDB multiplied by 25 shall be equal to 0. Now, if we will substitute the value of the CDB, diba? And then we transpose, so we will find that CDB here, okay, multiplied by 25 will be equal to, okay, negative P multiplied by 20. But the vertical component of the CD is equal to 4/5. That is equal to 4/5 of CD multiplied by 25 shall be negative P multiplied by 20. So, simplifying, kung sisimplify natin dito, so lalabas, this will actually cancel, di ba? So, this becomes 5. Okay, that will be 20 over 20. That's actually CD. Will be just negative P, ano? Negative P. So, meron akong ipapapansin, ano ngayon ang ibig sabihin ng negative P, ng negative sign? Okay? Ang ibig sabihin to, the negative sign indicates that what? That the direction, the correct direction of CD is opposite the assumed direction. Take note, opposite the assumed direction. Anong ibig sabihin nito? So in our case, Ang ginawa natin kasing assumption is that CD is directed towards the section for compression. But because it is negative, so lumalabas is ano ngayon ang assumption na ang final na say natin? CD therefore is P and it will be in the form of a tension. Ano? It will be in the form of a tension. So, ganyan natin makukuha. Ano? So, ngayon, let us have a summary. Okay, para makuha natin yung value ng P. So, how are we going to solve for the value of P? For the permissible value of P. Paano natin masosolve yung permissible value of P? Diba? Sabi natin, meron kasing allowable load for each of the member. Kaya tingnan natin, no? For member BC, diba? Ang allowable load niya is 7,000 na binabanggit, diba? But this is equivalent to kung kikita natin yung kay BC, ano? BC natin, hindi pala, BD pala. Look at that. Balikan ko lamang yung ating problem, ha? Yung ating problem, BD is to 7,000. BD is to 7,000. So, unahin natin yung BD. Ito yung ating BD is to 7,000. Okay? BD is to 7,000. And that 7,000 is equivalent when we computed for BD to 13 the square root of 5, text na, 13 the square root of 5 multiplied by, divided by 10 multiplied by P. Diba? Kaya kapag isinimplify natin ito, we shall be solving the value of P to be what? When we compute for the value that we will get for P will be 2,408 pounds. Ano? This will be one of the values. Whereas for the other member, for member CD, the magnitude of the maximum permissible value of the load for P is 3,000, di ba? That is 3,000. But we have computed that KCD is equal to KP, di ba? Therefore, P as controlled by CD will be equal to 3,000 pounds. And for the other member, for member CE, the member CE has a permissible value load of 5,000 pounds, which should be equal to the computed value of K. We have just computed for CE, and the value of CE is how much? Nasaan yung ating CE? Okay, tingnan natin CE. 2P, ito yung 2P, di ba? That is equivalent to 2P. So that is equal to 2P. So when solved for this, we shall be getting a value of 2,500 pounds. Okay. Out of these three values that we have computed as controlled by BD, CD, and CE, we were asked to find what is the maximum permissible without exceeding those allowable limits. And so since we will be finding the maximum without exceeding, then what would be our value should be the smallest among the three. And the value that we will be getting is this value. Itong value nito na value of 2,408 as controlled by the member PD. Kaya guys, sana sa pamamagitan ng example na ipinakita ko sa inyo ay mas lalo ninyong naintindihan ang paggamit ng method of sections in the analysis of structure. Guys, marami pa tayong mga problem na nakikita sa pamamagitan itong ating channel. Kaya tuloy-tuloy lang ang inyong pagsubaybay sa atin sa pamamagitan ng pag-subscribe sa ating channel at pag-share nitong ating channel sa ating mga kaibigan para naman sila ay ma-inform din of these uploads. Once again, thank you very much for watching.